Here. I'm here today to do part one of my reading wrap up. I did wind up reading 6 non-spooky mystery books this month. I did focus this month a lot on my spooky reads, but these reads just I got most of these from the library or I had e-arcs of them, so I just wanted to focus on them. But I did spend a majority of the month trying to read spooky and creepy books, and it's probably going to continue on into the beginning of November. So let's get into it. The first book that I wound up finishing reading was Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. A copy of this book from the publisher from BEA, I think. BEA was fully virtual this year, but they did have quite a few giveaways, and I think I did get this one from BEA, if not from Bookcom, but I think it was BEA. I wound up really liking this book. I wound up giving it 5 stars for review. It definitely was a book that kind of surprised me. So you basically follow this girl named Prue, and one day she's at a bar with her friends, like she's at like a restaurant with her friends, and she winds up falling and hitting her head, and that winds up giving her the ability to cast instant karma on anyone. And her instant karma never works on her enemy that she has. And at the end of the school year, they wind up teaming up on a project together, and they don't do that hot. Like, they don't listen to each other. They have no communication. As a teacher, I was like, yes, you are punished for not having any communication. And their teacher said they would only let them redo the project if they worked together on it. So Prue, who's like a little bit of a perfectionist and needs everything to go her way, decides to try to work with this young man at a animal sanctuary, which is a fascinating setting for a story. My cousins went to school to be a marine biologist, and she still works with animals, and I just love it. I used to love the movie Dolphin Tale. That setting, bar none, one of the best contemporary book settings I've read. I thought it really focused a lot on self-discovery, and it was only in Prue's point of view, and normally I like books that have kind of a dual point of view because I like that you kind of get to know both characters really, really well. But I wound up really liking this book. It was I would definitely say it's a perfect summer read, but it's also one that just is like nice and it has like a hint of magic, not like crazy magic, and it's kind of explained. The magic system's not super complicated. So it's just really, really simple to kind of dive into. I thought the characters were great. I just really, really liked it. I really liked the romance. There was also a side plot about the relationship and their family, and she's a twin, which you guys know how I love about twins. Twins are so popular in YA novels. I'll just say that out there. Like, I love twins so, so much. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on Instant Karma. I wound up giving it 5 stars. It was her contemporary debut, and I really hope she writes more books in the future in that genre or just anything. But I love Marissa Meyer. So right now I just have to finish reading Supernova, and then I have read all of her books, which is great. And then the next book I'm going to chat about is First Comes Scandal. I did read these out of order, but I'm just going over the non-creepy ones first. I picked up this one after I've heard so many good things from Alexa Loves Books about Julia Quinn, and I found this book to be super charming. It's part of a prequel series for the Bridgerton series, which I did read later in the month. I could not help myself. But it's also coming out on Netflix in late December. I think it comes out on Christmas. And I read one historical romance during quarantine, and it was Cold Hearted Rake by Lisa Kleypas, and I love that book. This book, again, has some of my favorite tropes in contemporary. I love fake dating. I love the whole plot of, like, getting ruined. And they are quite steamy, I will say that. But overall, I really like this one as well. Very, very fun. And I definitely want to read the rest of that series and also progress on and read the whole Bridgerton series. I think when I talk about Bridgerton, the Duke and I, you'll see I definitely like that one a little bit more. But this one I really liked, and I wound up giving it 4 stars as well. But yeah, it's just nice escapism. I've been really looking to escape this week, and that's why I want to, or this month in some aspects, just due to everything going on. And it was a nice escape. It was just a nice, fun escape, which I really, really wound up enjoying. And then the next book that I wound up reading was Bowled Over. And this is a cozy mystery that I picked up from the admit, this book did not wow me. And I think it's maybe my own fault because I read book 2 before I read book 1. But I will say, I have very specific likes in my cozy mysteries that either have to do with reading or cooking. This one had to do with neither. I thought the mystery was okay. I didn't feel super connected to the characters. And it was just okay. I read another cozy mystery like last year and I had the same exact problem, but that one was a lot more religious. I thought the mystery was interesting. I just wasn't super connected to the characters and I only wound up giving it 3 stars. And I really have no desire to check out that series again. But I did pick it up and I wound up giving it 3 stars and it did count towards my like mystery reads, but it just I put it in this video because it was not really creepy and not really scary, and the mystery didn't like really wow me. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Bulldover. October, I go to Comic-Con and I have so much fun. I get dressed up, I go with my friends, we get so many books, and this year because of coronavirus it got canceled. There was an e version of the event, and I did wind up winning like a couple of books from that, which are going to be in the mail to me, so they'll be in like a feature book haul that I have upcoming. But it wasn't the same experience, so to kind of like make myself feel a little bit better about that, I did wind up doing a mini reading vlog focusing on con related books, and the first one that I picked up was the one that I definitely liked the best, and that is Conquest by Sam Maggs. Reading a lot of books this month that had to do with twins. So this is another contemporary novel about two twins. Their parents are famous illustrators. They wind up going to this comic book convention, and they are participating in a secret scavenger hunt where they have to kind of go around the convention, checking things off and taking photos of stuff. And it was just adorable, so charming, really, really fun. You got both characters' point of views. It was just a fun. It was just reminded me of being back at a convention hall, and I miss that so much. And it was just a charming read. I love Sam Maggs' writing so much. I read a couple of other books by her this year, and she's definitely becoming one of my favorite new-to-me authors. She'll be in a video upcoming at the end of the year. But I wound up really liking this one and wound up giving this book 4 stars. The next book I wound up reading was just not my favorite, but that is The Girls Saved the World in this. Didn't love this book. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite, but it basically followed these 4, well, there's 3 girls, but 4 are really involved in the story, and they're best friends, and they wind up going to this zombie convention together, which is loosely inspired probably by The Walking Dead, because they do have they do have a specific con for Walking Dead. And there's a real life zombie apocalypse inside the convention center, and they have to like go save their lives, and they wind up interacting with the actors. So there was a lot going on in the story. It was a lot of plot, a lot of like unexpected death, and I just felt like I really couldn't get connected to anybody, even like the main characters, because I just didn't know who was gonna die, and it made me very, very stressed out. It's like when I used to watch Game of Thrones, and I was like, okay, I cannot become invested in anyone, and that's kind of how I felt. But I thought the diversity was fun. I like the characters. I just didn't feel like super connected to them, so I only wound up giving it 3 stars. But I would definitely check out more books by Ash Parsons in the future because I liked her writing style. I just didn't feel super connected to the characters. I don't think zombie reads are necessarily my thing, but alas, it was an enjoyable read, and I wound up giving it 3 stars for review. And then the last book I'm going to talk about in this part of my reading vlog is The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. I read 2 Julia Quinn's books this month, and this was definitely my favorite. I feel like I may have found one of my new fictional families. I have always loved the Weasleys. I have always loved the Lightwoods. The Bridgertons might be my next one. But this is the starting book in that series, and it follows, I cannot remember her name now. I know it's Simon, and I can't remember the girl's name. But they wind up having a very interesting relationship development, and they kind of kick off the Bridgerton series. I really, really like this book. This book had some of my favorite character tropes and plot twists kind of thrown into historical romances, but it also had some really interesting representation with like stuttering and just the relationship, and I really, really liked it. I was captivated. I thought the relationship was fun. I thought it was the perfect amount of steamy, but also like being representative of the time. It was great. I really want to check out the more other books in the series. I doubt I will finish the series before Christmas, but at least if I can read another one, I'll be happy. So yeah, those are the books that I finished, and now I have another section, and I don't ever DNF books, but 2 happened to occur this month, and I just kind of wanted to chat through them. I know some people like put them on Goodreads and say that they read them, and I just don't do that. I have to complete a book for it to count. So these I made some significant progress in and just kind of put them down. They weren't captivating me, but I just wanted to share my why I put them down and, that fun stuff. So the first book is Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwit. I really struggled with this book. I really, really did. I wasn't as connected to the characters as I wanted to be, and I just really, really struggled. The pacing was a little bit weird. Maybe I wasn't in the mental space to read it. I don't know, but I wound up putting that one down. And I also wound up putting down another historical romance, The Night of Passion, which one is another book that was supposed to have a pregnancy plot line, and it went in like a really, really weird and bizarre direction, and I didn't wind up liking it as much, and then I never wound up finishing it. I still do have the audiobooks as possible. I might finish it before the end of the year, but I don't know. It also had pirates and like other things going on. It just really didn't captivate my attention. But yeah, those are all like the non-creepy reads that I read. And then you'll see my next wrap up that has all the creepy books I read. And I actually wound up enjoying those a little bit more than these, other than the Duke and I liked a couple of these books, but they definitely weren't my favorite of the month. So hope you guys will check out that video as well. Let me know in the comments what are some books you read this month, and I'll talk to you guys later for another video. Bye.